I can. I started in St. John Ambulance as a cadet back in '72, I think it was. Came up through the ranks, and then in the late '70s, I became involved in the local search and rescue and did a lot of emergency response that way. Then in the '93, I became interested in animal response and emergency response and joined an international rescue group, Emergency Animal Rescue Services, which is an international group, and was called down south to do in the States to do a puppy mill seizure. I've done apartment fires, wildfires, and the latest response was the oil slick here in Vancouver. The reason it's so important is that emergency response for animals is actually about family, it's about people. As you may have heard in Katrina, a good 30% of people did not evacuate because they didn't want to leave their animals behind. And regretfully, of those 30%, at least 80% of those perished. So from the point of view of emergency first responders, if we bring the animals out, if everybody's safe, then we don't have to take people into dangerous situations. We don't have to go into dangerous situations to help people out of there. Everybody's healthier and happier, and it really is the best solution to be prepared with your pets. One of the big things is pre-planning, of course. Microchips, tattoo numbers all recorded, and remembering to change your address and your contact information with both of those. It doesn't do a rescue group any good if we go to check a tattoo number or a microchip number and it's still registered back in Ontario when in fact you've moved out to British Columbia. So keeping that kind of information up to date, having your animals trained to go into their crates, making it a happy place for them so you don't have to struggle with that, having emergency contact numbers outside the local area, pictures with you and your pets, that sort of thing. As mentioned, pictures with you and your pets, copies of the microchip numbers. A lot of people now are keeping those on their smartphones. So we carry them almost 24/7, so we always have access to that information, or in a cloud format or something like that. You should have enough food for the animal. Rough rule of thumb is 1 ounce of water per pound of animal. If you feed a dry food, you need a little more water. If you feed a wet food, you need a little less water. But that's a rough rule of thumb. Again, whatever their favorite food is for the 72 hours to a week, a nice blanket that has your scent on it, kitty litter and a litter box for the cats, leashes, extra collars in case they slip out of one or they lose one. Again, medications, and any medical history that we need to know about the animal.